joining us, you're on to your favorite program, Democracy and the Rule of Law. So, Barrister Albiora, there's a recent proposal for the amendment of the Constitution. The Senate had set up that committee to look at ways to amend our Constitution to bring it in line with the 21st century aspiration of Nigerians. And the Senate President did mention that the innovation, there are a lot of innovation that have cropped up the Constitution did not envisage, especially the issue of artificial intelligence, robotic, and so many other, fintech, finance technology, and so many other recent 21st century, innovation Constitution need to, take care of. So what is your thought on that?
Well, I agree that our Constitution needs to be amended. But the question is really amendment we need for a good Constitution. Some experts, scholars, eminent legal luminaries have come up with the idea that the Constitution, which claims to be the Constitution of Nigeria, has told lies about itself. Because it is not emanated from Nigerians, it was the military that came up with that document and claimed that came from Nigerians. And then, although it was been worked by the military, given to us, I've been managing it, been using it over time. Now, this is an opportunity for Nigerians to participate in the making of a constitution that will really govern this nation. All right. I agree that there's need for it. And then, when it is being done, there are areas that need to be looked into. Number one, there must be opportunity for Nigerians to participate in it. Of course, I know there have been several amendments of the National Constitution. There must be opportunity given to Nigerians to participate in the proposed amendment of the Constitution. And not only that, Chapter 2 of the 1999 Constitution, that before now has not been made justiciable, that will be the starting point. Because that is the provision that gives legal teeth to socio-economic rights of Nigerians. The Constitution, as we have it today, did not make it justiciable. It is just there. It has wonderful provisions for Nigerians, mouth-watering provisions. But it says you cannot go to court to enforce those rights. It is time. Now that the Constitution is to be amended, we start from there. To make provisions justiciable, of course, the issue of artificial intelligence, which are new technologies coming to the world, even to Nigeria, yes, there's need for the Constitution to capture it, the financial technology, and other areas that we really need to look into. Yeah. And again,
but you did mention that it is time for probably an opportunity for a new constitution that Nigerians can identify with. But I'm sure the viewers will be eager to know what's the difference between a new constitution and this amendment that is taking place. What are the difference? Having a new constitution, what will it entail? And amending is there some provision that cannot come in through amendment that will necessarily will come in through getting a brand new proposition? Can you have that difference?
I had the privilege to be at a MBA program attended by the late F.R. Williams and the other legal minds who say that there were so many issues in the 1999 Constitution, but the major one was that it claimed to have come from Nigerians, but Nigerians made no input. That if you look at the preamble, we, the people of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, have decided to give ourselves this constitution, whereas it is not so. It's the military that gave us that constitution.
Yeah, but if it's amended, now Nigeria has the opportunity to be part of it. So what's the difference?
Now, since then, it has undergone series of amendments. Now, on one side, at the General Assembly, there's one side is saying that look, that what they are coming up with is a brand new constitution.
Please, shall I come in there?
The other group is saying that we are going to have amendments.
Okay.
And then, whichever way it goes, what is important is that Nigerians must have input into what comes out at the end of the day. And part of what, if I have opportunity to make an input, I will still say that the Constitution will now come into real federal presidential constitution, not constitution under the guise of federalism.
All right.
I constitution that we have they now have suffered so many defects and all that. And that we really need to address some of those defects. But when you look critically at the challenges that this country is facing as a nation, you want to ask yourself, is constitution really our problem? Especially when you look at some modern democracy that we have. America has been running its constitution for 400 years now. Not too sure they have had as many amendments as we have had. America has not come to America because artificial intelligence, robotics, and all that have come into economy, into science, and moral. The truth of the matter is the constitution is always an open-ended thing. There should be written in such a manner that can happen. The exigencies that never even present will come into play some 20, 30, 40, 100 years. Unfortunately, we have not been able to do that yet. But the basic problem we have with our constitution is that each time we are writing constitution, we are thinking about tribes. Hausa, Fulani, Igbo, how this help them. We are thinking about regions and all that. We are thinking about who is going to get the largest chunk of the national cake in terms of revenue allocations and all that. Whereas, if that has not been our focus and all that, we would have been able to give to ourselves a constitution that will be able to meet our needs, not just now, but also in the future. So long all those primordial sentiments is still attached, it still guides the way and manner the constitutions are set and framed and all that, we will still be just gyrating on the same spot without making any headway.
Well, I share a different opinion. When Nigeria became one in 1914, we had independence in 1960. Now we had the regional, the regions, and at the regional level, each region was independent of that. What the central government do, and they were developing at their own pace. That's what we are clamoring for. Let there be true federalism. And what my colleague just said is that the issue of resource control. Because what we have presently is that the federal government is the big daddy, giving legacies to the sons, the governors. But that is the wrong way. The American constitution has undergone many amendments. But if you go to America, America has one central government that is there. Then the states, the various states in America, they have their own police, they have their courts up to Supreme Court, they have all these agencies. They handle a lot of things that is both the federal government is putting itself within Nigeria. You develop at your pace, and that was what we had during the regional period.
Let's answer this hypothetical question. Now the state has been allowing the local government under them to bring.
Now that question is an issue that
is
not a reason for us to turn federalism upside down. The local government, by the provision of the Constitution, Section 7 says we have democratically elected local government that is autonomous, not an appendage of the state government. And that is the reason why presently there is a problem in terms of physical allocation, because the Federal Allocation Committee is supposed to allocate the funds of the local government direct to the local government, not through the states. That's where we're getting it wrong. And of course, the federal government is the one collecting the resources, collecting the money, whereas supposed to be the states contributing money for the federal government.
Yeah, but how do you allocate resources to local government that is non-existent? The election.
The local governments are there. Those are the states are not allowing them to perform.
Most of them are not election caretaker committees.
Exactly.
Those are part of the problem. That's why we're saying that if we have true federalism, local government will be on its own. This is allocation direct from the federal government and perform the constitutional assigned duties. You know, there are duties assigned to the local government by the constitution. But the state will now collect those monies and then be dictated. We are not practicing true federalism. We are not practicing militarism under the guise of federalism, and it's not so. And of course, maybe because we've had a long period of military rule where the order comes to approve. That is maybe what has influenced it. But this is an opportunity we have as a nation to go to the drawing board. Like I said earlier, election just last week said, look, that Nigeria need to decentralize. Give power to the state government, to the local government, and let's have a good federal government, and let the states and local government go back to the drawing board and do what they're supposed to do. And if we do that, Nigeria will be better off.
Everybody agrees that. You remember that the great Professor Wabweze was one of those who were experts who went to Ethiopia to draft a constitution for them. And it was thought to be a very perfect constitution and all. But that constitution has not been able to serve the Tutsi people, the migrant people and all that. They've been having a lot of problems just like we have been having in Nigeria. In fact, as today, I think a part of that country, they are at war now, fighting each other. The truth of the matter is that so long as we have politicians on the African continent who have the kind of mindset that most politicians on the African continent do have, no matter how perfect the constitution that two may have drafted and all that, the possibility that those constitutions will work is going to be zero. I would rather also want to encourage that the politicians will have a change of mindset as regards allowing Western laws of the land, including constitution, to really be able to work the way it should work. And more importantly, too, that people should not turn a constitution to an encyclopedia or a kind of manual. If you look at the American Constitution, I think about 11 of pages, and they hardly amend it. But it's been serving the purpose of it to talk. Because Constitution is supposed to be a mere guide, a kind of vision, aspirations, and then value and belief that the people subscribe to. Anything other than that, it's the excellent law, the law that are made by the National Assembly, the local government, and that should supplement and then augment those things.
If you may.
Okay, but so we are almost out of time, so let's just get the last word before we call it a day. Today.
Yes, my parting views are one, that the Orosanian report should be fully implemented. It will start solving the problem of this nation. Number two, the constitution of Nigeria that is to be reviewed, that the socio-economic rights encapsulated in section 2 of the constitution should be made justiciable, and again that we should have a proper federal structure where states are allowed to control their resources. We have decentralized government, then local government should be on its own. We have three-tier system of government. That is what is in paper. We should have true federal structure.
All right. Yeah, very Saturday. Let's get.
Well, I agree with him that we need to have a true federalism. We need to unbundle a lot of so that the nation can really move forward. But I will also want to appeal to President to have a change of mind. So long as politics remain as lucrative as it is today, and remains a do-or-die affair, no matter how beautiful the law may be, no matter how beautiful the constitution may be, it may be practically impossible to really work those constitutions.
All right. Thank you for very insightful commentary on this issue. This is where we'll draw the curtain on today's edition of Democracy and the Rule of Law. It has been a wonderful time in the studio. I want to thank you for sticking with us till this end. Make sure you follow all our social media handles for updates and many more. This is where we'll draw the curtain today. Meet us same time next week. Thank you.